Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the mind of entrepreneur Myron Golden. We're going to unpack his powerful ideas on wealth, mindset, and, well, mastery. We're talking about the core principles that he says separate the absolute top performers from, everyone else. So, what's the real secret sauce here? I mean, what really separates the top 1%? It's not just about having a bigger bank account, not by a long shot. According to Myron Golden, it's all about a total shift in how you see the world. And it all starts with taking absolute 100% responsibility for every single outcome in your life. No excuses. And that right there, that idea of total responsibility, that's the foundation. It is everything. It's the first, most crucial piece of the puzzle, your mindset. Look, before you even start thinking about strategies or tactics, you have to make this radical shift. You got to move away from blaming anyone or anything else and step into a mindset of real personal power.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. The 99% mindset, it's all about looking for someone to blame. The question is always, whose fault is it? And that question just completely strips you of your power. But the 1%, they look inward. They ask a totally different question. Okay, what can I do about this? You see the difference? It's like waiting for your ship to come in versus realizing, hey, you are the ship. Time to start swimming.
And this isn't just some feel-good motivational idea. It's actually backed up by a mathematical principle called Price's Law. And what it says is pretty wild. In basically any field, a tiny, tiny fraction of the people are going to be responsible for the vast majority of the results. It's this law of, completely disproportionate outcomes. Okay, let's make this real. Let's make it tangible. Imagine for a second you've got 9 tomato plants in your garden.
So, the square root of 9 is 3, right? Well, Price's Law predicts that just 3 of those plants are going to produce half of all your tomatoes. Yeah, 3 plants doing the same amount of work as the other 6 combined. And this isn't a fluke, it's a predictable pattern you see everywhere. Okay, so that's tomatoes. Now let's scale this way, way up. Think about all the businesses in the US. We're talking about roughly 30 million of them.
So what's the square root of 30 million? It's about 5,500. Now get this. That means a tiny little fraction, just 5,500 companies generate half of the entire US GDP. That's insane. And here's the powerful lesson in all of this. Mediocrity scales like crazy, but excellence, that's built step by step. So your goal is to focus on becoming one of those fantastic few. All right, so once you've got that producer mindset locked in, what's next? The next big step is to completely rewire your brain, your core beliefs about what money is actually for. Myron Golden has this great line where he says, for most people, payday isn't really payday. It's just transfer day. And it's so true, right? Money comes in and boom, it goes right back out to pay bills. That cycle keeps people stuck, totally trapped, because their money never ever gets a chance to actually work for them. But the wealthy, they see it completely differently. For them, the number one job of money is to make, more money. And they do that by buying things that Golden calls income-producing assets, or IPAs for short. The whole point of these assets is to go to work for you and bring in even more income. And this is the flow right here. It's a super simple 3-step process. Step 1, you get some money. Step 2, you immediately convert it into one of those income-producing assets. And then step 3, and this is the crucial part, you only spend the returns from that asset. Golden has this fantastic analogy for it. He says you hold on to your mama money long enough for it to have babies, and then you only ever spend the baby money. Love that. Okay, so your beliefs are like the blueprint for the house, right? But the practice, that's the engine. That's what actually builds the wealth. And here's the thing. According to Golden, this part, it's not always super exciting. And this is a huge, huge stumbling block for so many people. They fail because they just get bored. They get bored with the simple stuff that actually works. They start chasing excitement, the next shiny object, instead of just committing to the repetitive, sometimes boring actions that actually create the results. And this is how that 1% achieves mastery. It's not by chasing thrills, it's through disciplined, deliberate practice. We're talking about practicing something with so much focus that it just becomes second nature. You don't even have to think about it. It's about stacking one level of mastery on top of another, like building blocks. And, maybe most importantly, it's about not giving up on what works. Just rinse and repeat, perfected. Now, this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. The work works on you before it works for you. Think about that. The whole process is designed to change you first. You don't just get the results and then magically become the person who deserves them. No, you have to become that person first, and then the results show up. The work itself is what turns you into someone who can handle that success. So let's tie this all together. How is wealth actually created in the real world? Well, it all boils down to a hierarchy of value. And all that deliberate practice we were just talking about, that's the engine that's going to help you climb this pyramid. So Myron Golden lays out this value pyramid, and it's super clear. Down at the bottom, you've got implementation. That's the physical, hands-on work. But way up at the top, that's imagination, creating ideas out of thin air. And it's pretty simple. The higher you climb up this pyramid, the more wealth you can generate. And notice how your tools change as you move up. You start with your muscles, right, for implementation. Then it's about your leadership skills to bring people together, to unify them. Then it's your mouth, your ability to communicate and move people with a message. And at the very top, it's your mind, your ability to imagine and create. See, real wealth isn't just about doing things. It's about communicating, unifying, and ultimately creating. And that, in a nutshell, is the power of the value pyramid. Because when you start operating at those higher levels, communication, imagination, you completely shatter the link between your time and your income. You're just not trading hours for dollars anymore. You're creating value on a scale that's so much bigger. So at the end of the day, the big takeaway from Myron Golden's whole philosophy isn't really about what you can get. It's about who you have to become to get it. This whole journey, the mindset shifts, changing how you see money, that deliberate practice, it's all designed to transform you. So the real question to leave you with is this: who are you becoming?